If you're new to the area or just new to us, call your local agents, Jeff and Kenneth, at 931-575-5050 or visit the Bedford North Main Farm Bureau office at 1735 North Main Street, Suite C1 in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Tennessee Insurance for Tennessee life.
The Christmas season should feel like joy, not financial stress. At Heritage South Community Credit Union, we focus on people helping people. Whether you need help with a little extra funds, managing the money you already saved, or getting a head start on saving for next year's Christmas presents, we can help. In fact, we help when others won't. Visit our website, heritagesouth.org, to learn more about holiday specials at Heritage South. Insured by NCUA.
Real classic rock like your favorite jacket. Faded denim, duct tape on one sleeve, and a Guns N' Roses patch holding it all together. You go, favorite jacket. The Zinger 100.9 and AM 1400. Coming to you live from WZNG Studio B, it's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9. Get ready for inside analysis and recap on all things Cascade High School Basketball with the Lady Champions head coach, Janie DeMumbrium, and Champions head coach, Doug Worsley. Hosted by Voice of the Champions, Noah Maddox. Now let's send it live to Studio B for another edition of the Cascade Coaches Show.
Welcome, everybody, into the Cascade Coaches Show, live from Studio B on the Zinger 100.9 and AM 1400. Once again, I'm Noah Maddox, joined by Coach JD. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
As always, it's a pleasure. And Coach Doug Worsley will be joining us at the bottom of the hour, fresh off a game that they played 2.5 hours ago.
Yep.
So that'll be fun to get the freshest reaction, I guess you could say. We have a pretty stacked show, obviously, this evening with missing, I think, last week, of course, for the holiday for Christmas and, all the traveling and such going on. Since then, Cascade, obviously, y'all had the Christmas Classic at up in Gatlinburg, but also had a very, very fun game on Saturday. I guess it's classified as fun. It's slim margins for that.
Yeah, from different viewpoints, it can be fun.
Well, you guys went 2-1 in Gatlinburg, won the first two, then played North Green on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then 7 days later, you guys took on Moore County and won on a half-court shot. That is bearing the lead. That's not bearing the lead. That's make sure we get to it because that was quite a fun way to win a basketball game. We'll get to that one in a little bit. We'll start with the Christmas tournament, Christmas Classic, I guess, where you guys faced two schools from out of state, and then North Green, who's a single A, power, has been for a decade. Yeah. What did the biggest things from playing teams out of state? What kind of benefits does that provide you guys as a coaching staff and you guys as a team on the floor?
Well, it gives us lots of benefits, and the fact that these teams that they play different styles. The team that we played, Ridgeview, on Thursday, they played a lot of zone, and all the film that we watched, they played a lot of zone, which for us has been a nightmare. But it was preparation in how we were going to attack that, and so. That was a good experience, and like I said, it's just different. Their style is just different. Their referees call different. They're able to play a little bit more than we're able to play. And then we turned around on Friday, and we played Johnson Central, who I've watched two of their games, and I'm like, wow, these girls, they're thick. They play hard. Their referees absolutely let them play in Kentucky. It was evident in our game that, we shot 58 free throws and there was 40 fouls called. And so that was good for us as well, just because we were able to see how tough we are, not just in the physical part of it, but that does play into the mental part of the game. And so I was really proud of our girls just buckling down. We didn't have Susanna that game, so we were down a player. So just making those quick adjustments, and just like we just had to do this Saturday without her, and that was a quick adjustment.
Yeah.
So seeing how our girls just adjust on the fly, mentally and physically, has been something really good for us in the last week and a half.
For sure, yeah. 60 free throws from one team, not combined. You don't usually see it combined that often.
I wish we would have shot our free throws a little bit better. That's kind of been, my thing the last few practices that we've had. We're shooting about 75% from the free throw line as a team. And I have a few that I expect a little bit more out of. And we need to get to those individually into those 85, 90% free throw, because when it comes down to it, free throws are going to win us ball games, and those are going to be key down the stretch as we get into district play.
Yeah, big picture, especially postseason play. It's, you guys have, gone across the mountain, traversed the terrain of getting there.
Yeah.
And obviously the next step in that kind of journey is, putting the wins together, and you got to make free throws to be able to do that, obviously.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. For you guys, 2-1, as we mentioned, 2 out-of-state teams. Between the two, obviously Johnson Central the second day, they jumped out to an early lead. Then you guys kind of battled back, and I think it was 4 starters that ended up fouling out for them, or 4 players and 3 starters, or something. But you guys were able to find a way to win in the end, with first 3 quarters being pretty close. For Johnson Central specifically, you guys, it seems like you guys were able to play your style in all of these games to at least to a certain point. But for the first 2 games especially, you guys were able to, it wasn't reacting to how the other team's playing as much as it is. We just got to settle in and play the way we want to play, and they'll adjust to how we play.
Yeah, we definitely had more turnovers in that game than we've had in this rest of the season and in last year as well. We had 27 turnovers, I think is what it was. And so it kind of reminded me a little bit of years past. But to understand how physical and how fast everything was, and a lot of those turnovers came in that first quarter. But I was proud of our girls for just settling down, not getting rattled. We were able to make stick shots. We were able to knock down some threes. We were able, I think this was something that was big for me, was points off turnovers and points in the paint. I mean, we had 31 points against Johnson Central with points off turnovers, and then we had 12 points in the paint. Yeah. And I think that that's been key for us, and that's going to be huge for our success, is making sure that we are, if we're making them have a turnover, we've got to capitalize on that. Yeah. And when you're looking at ours, I mean, we've had a game with 20, 17, 31, and 21 with points off turnovers. Yeah. So that's where we're really settling down and getting them to make a mistake and us capitalizing. So
yeah, you guys forced 3 more turnovers than you committed in that game, and 31 for you guys, 18 for them. And the final score, it was a 13-point game. Yeah. So that 13-point difference in one of the 2 biggest categories that you kind of, as a coach, probably in the box score after a game, win or lose, is like, okay, points off turnovers, and then points in the paint, as you mentioned. And 12 points in the paint when you had 25 registered shots is probably the raw number doesn't look great for a game, but in the context, that's probably about, it probably would translate to a regular game base.
Yeah, and being there, you just had to, and I've said this the last few weeks, you just have to be there to experience it. Some of our games are not playing out in a way that is wooey for other people, I guess, in terms. But, I mean, God, they were physical, and you had to stick your shots because they were coming at you. And so I was really proud. Jocelyn, she hit a few. Lexi had a great game that day. Lizzie, I mean, Kaegan, of course, she's just does Kaegan things and just steps up for our team. But it's an overall thing for us now. And even though 12 points is not a lot, it's a lot for us when you look at our size and what we're having to go against.
Yeah, especially in the context. It sounds like, it's well, I don't know how you're going to be able to really describe it unless you
experience it. It truly is that way.
And so for having that game under your belt, not only playing in it, but obviously finding a way to win, that's huge in and of itself. But playing in it, in that kind of style that you won't see again in
you won't see it in
2A in Tennessee, period. I guess as a quick aside, is that partially due to the way the game's officiated in the state?
It definitely is. Okay. When I tell you that they had two hands on Kaegan hips the whole way up and using her body, which I'm not against it.
Yeah.
It's called in our area.
Right.
They don't let us play like that.
Yeah.
And, but at the end of the day, it was good for our girls. Yeah. It made my girls tougher, and it made our girls realize, hey, this girl can bench press more than you, look like she weighs more than you, but you can handle their pressure. And so it was a big confidence boost. Now, that game was 2 hours long, so you can imagine that by the end of it, we're exhausted.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically. Like, we all looked at each other after we got out of that gym, and we're going back to the cabin, and we're taking a nap because we were exhausted from it. So.
And we're supposed to play again tomorrow.
Yeah, in the championship game against a 1A powerhouse.
Yeah, right.
Goodness gracious.
That was a good 3-day stretch.
Oh, yeah. It was good. And that stuff's good for you, especially when you think about getting into the region play and the district play and all that stuff. So
yeah, for sure. Coach Shady DeMurmur in studio right here on the Cascade Coaches Show. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Continue talking right here on the Zinger 100.9.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture raised and grain finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com.
In business, it's not just what you know, it's who you know. You deserve a friend who understands your goals, who shows up when things get busy, someone who's in your corner. At First Community Bank, we're invested in you and your business. We work hard to be the kind of friend you want by your side, in business and everywhere else. So don't forget, you've got a friend in business. First Community Bank, friends and neighbors first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton Pipe & Supply has you covered. With everything from skid steers, backhoes, and even mini excavators, you never know what Clanton will have on the lot. For all your pipe and used equipment needs, call 931-684-4847. For heavy equipment, financing is available with approved credit. And of course, you know Clanton for their corrugated metal and plastic culvert pipe. They carry all types and sizes, not to mention that delivery is also available. 931-684-4847, ClantonPipeandSupply.com.
It's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Cascade Coaches Show. Maddox with Coach Shady DeMurmur. I'm right here talking Cascade basketball. We're going to close on the third day of that Smoky Mountain Christmas Classic, the championship game against North Green, who made it to the state quarterfinals a year ago. Season ended against Greenview. You guys took them to overtime on the third game in 3 days after probably the most physical game that anybody in the state of Tennessee is going to play all year. And you guys went down early. Probably dead legs coming in a little bit.
Yeah.
And then rallied after halftime and was able to at least force overtime. Ended up losing in the extra session. But for that game specifically, what did you see and how you guys, responded after such a tough game the day before? And then rallied, because at halftime it could be, we're about to leave, all this stuff. And it's like, well, we're already dead because we played what we did yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever. But you guys rallied and came back and made it, sent it to overtime.
Yeah.
And, had a chance to win in various ways. So, what are your biggest takeaways from that game specifically, especially in the context of coming off of what was on Friday?
Well, North Green, they're a great team. James Buchanan, he does a great job over there. I think what I looked at the last 5 years, they've been to either the state quarterfinals or the state semifinals for the last 5 years every year. So we knew it was going to be good competition for us. They had a girl, Sutherland, she was their inside girl, and she killed us. She had 27 points. And we just didn't have the legs. She would get it inside, and her moves were decent, but her ability to stick her shots, I mean, she could put them in the goal. And so we go into halftime and we're down, and the entire coaching staff talked about, we just didn't have the energy. And where were we going to find that energy? I think we got ourselves down 12 or 15 at that point, at some point in time in the game. And I think that highlights something about these girls when we came back after halftime. They're always finding a way. And every single person that comes on our court, on our team, tries to give us a spark in any way that they can. And it's not going to be the same person every single time. They identified our best shooters with Kaegan and Lizzie. They knew what they were going to do best. And so somebody else had to step up. And in that game, it was Jocelyn. She had 19 points for us. And she was able to drag their bigger girl out and knock down some threes. And that was huge for us. And so, when everybody starts to hone in on what you would call our top two players, we've got another one that can step up. And Lexi hit a three, and Lexi's getting those rebounds, and Caroline's attacking the paint. I think she hit maybe 2 threes that game. I mean, we just had different people stepping up, and we just ran out of gas. I mean, they outscored us 14-4 in the overtime. Right. We literally ran out of gas.
Yeah. You guys hit 9 threes in that game, which coming off of, in the context of things, you wouldn't expect a team to hit 9 threes necessarily, because, but you guys were able to. Jocelyn, she had a big 3 on Saturday, the most recent Saturday, right? A week and a half ago Saturday, against Moore County, and she, Brandon said she leads, is now after Saturday, leading the team in free throw percentage, and she's got the a nice stroke.
She absolutely does. One of the best shots. Yeah. I mean, we talked about that today while we were watching the girls shoot their free throws during practice. I said Joe's probably our better free throw shooter right now. I haven't even looked at the stats, but she definitely is. She just has that natural stroke. Kaegan's taking a lot of free throws, and so that can kind of skew that data right there. And Kaegan does a great job. Now, tired is going to come into play, and short legs and fatigue come into play when you're talking about minutes and stuff. But it's nice to have that to where I can trust multiples to step up to the line and hit those.
And whatever Kaegan's percentage might be when it's when it's time,
I trust
there's
her.
not many people that you trust more than.
I mean, I've trusted her for 4 years.
Right, exactly.
I trust her.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. It's that there's you know this obviously, but there's players that percentage can be in the low 70s, but they're who I'm picking for the technical free throws, or that's who we're going with when it's on the line for sure. But so you guys coming out of the Christmas Classic, we've talked about kind of the takeaways from it, big picture. Is there any other takeaways that kind of haven't mentioned already that coming off of that? You'd mentioned before going the bonding experience that you guys have off the court.
We love
there wasn't a lot of that on the Friday night, but
we were very tired. And here's the thing with Friday night, we were very, very tired. We get back to the cabin, and the girls, they allowed us, we were able to utilize their cabin, and we're very gracious. Like the girls said, it was one of their favorite trips because we all got to be together. We did everything together. We were all in the same household, as compared to when we've stayed at Margaritaville in the past. Mm-hmm. But, that Friday, we're tired. We come back to the cabin. Susanna's sick. We're all like, okay, now we've got to look and see what North Green looks like. Kaylee and I are sitting on the couch, and I'm like, my eyes are heavy. Yeah. Guess what? We go to Dollywood Stampede Friday night at 8:30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was a real long day for us, but that was a great experience. I mean, great food there. The girls enjoyed it. You know, they really loved to spend time together. They had a Bible study that was planned by them the night we got there. They do their Christmas exchange. They played basketball. They played video games. They watched movies. I mean, and I never have to worry about them. They love each other. It's just a great experience for our girls, and I hope that they have created memories that they're going to carry for the rest of their lives with it, because I know I did.
Yeah, so. For sure. So moving on to Moore County, you guys coming off Christmas, Christmas Classic, and then the holiday itself, and then sure, let's play another Saturday game. Just for
2 days after
fun.
Christmas.
Right, exactly. At not just Saturday night, but a Saturday matinee at 2:00. It was funny looking through the box score after the game on Sunday, and it's like, wow, if you just blind resume and you go through, it's like there's a lot of dark blues on the right-hand side here. But you guys, the biggest thing that is dark blue, but would be dark blue for you guys if Huddle could track that right, was the turnovers. Mm-hmm. You guys forced 28 Moore County turnovers. In the fourth quarter, it was extremely tangible. You guys forced 10.
Yeah.
And a lot, like, the backcourt, that just some mental errors by them, but also you guys, the pressure turned it up and really made them feel you guys
our presence.
For the full 8 minutes.
We were there.
Right. And you mentioned, we don't want to press, as much, but that game Saturday, it was like, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
And especially when you're down to two rotation pieces, you got 6 or 7 people that are playing in the game for the whole game.
Yeah, and short legs. But that's what these girls love. Yeah. They love it and they thrive off of it. Are we 100% on our coverages and making sure that everybody gets where they are? Absolutely not. I pulled clips and we looked at them today and we walked them today and we ran through coverage again today. They're not perfect by any means, but they're learning from their mistakes and they're adjusting. And if this is the style they want to play with and that's what makes them successful, even though it makes me nervous at times, especially with fouls, I'm all for it. I mean, they've proven. I mean, when you look at points off turnovers, they've proven that they have the ability to do it. And I thought that that's where we kind of had the advantage a little bit against Moore County. I think we outscored them in the second half, 33-18, I think. 33-19 is what we had in the second half. And that's nothing that the referees did for us at all. The referees can't put the ball in the hole for us. They can't cause the turnovers for us. And so I was just proud of our girls for, you could easily 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, say that we were going to lay down and it was going to be a mental thing. But we went into the locker room. We had a few choice words and we said, we're not going to do this. We're going to come out and we're going to do our job. They killed us on the boards. Yeah. I mean, I think that was 38-18. I text Brian after, and I was like, we miss Susanna so much.
Yes. We mentioned it during the game.
We needed her on the boards, but, we were able to cause some of those turnovers within the last 3 minutes, and Caroline hit a key free throws, hit a layup. Jocelyn made some, and Lizzie both made them make some turnovers, and we just capitalized, and I was proud of them.
Yeah, and Caroline, I do want to highlight that she fouled out Bella Tucker.
Yeah.
Because she drew the last 2 fouls on her in quick succession with strong takes, and she was looking for the contact.
Right.
Despite early in the game, she missed both free throws.
Right.
That didn't impede her.
No. The
way that she drove in the fourth quarter, and she rewarded herself by making both free throws when it counted.
And I think that speaks with these girls. They're able to let go of things that might have hurt them 2 plays ago. We're not lingering on it, and we're moving on with it. And how can I make up for that? So.
Yeah. And then you guys obviously are now 11-3 after a half-court game winner. How was that for you? Have you ever been on the winning side of that before in your playing and coaching career?
A half-court winner? No, I nailed a 3 my freshman year. at the top of the key against Knoxville Webb when they had Glory Johnson. That might have been my third game. I had that one, and then maybe a few games later, I hit a game winner against Lincoln County.
But no half quarters.
No half quarters. No, not that I've been involved in. I have watched that sequence probably, I guess, the last 17 seconds, when I called that timeout and drew up a baseline out of bounds play. I was proud of Lizzie. I had to get in her butt a little bit early in the game. I'm sure everybody heard that. But, I just know that there's so much more potential for her there.
Yeah.
And I was proud of her for taking it to the rim. She stuck that shot. They had the opportunity. Allie Sharp, great player, came all the way down, missed her shot, and Caroline grabbed that ball. And I have zoomed in 100 million times.
I can't tell.
I can. I have a picture of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely I have looked at it and I have dissected it.
You forwarded it to everybody.
I want to. I want to make it known. Yes,
especially
absolutely.
With what happened after nothing.
Yeah.
Happened. No
and
police
even
presence,
anybody on our side that doesn't believe it. I'll be happy to show it to you.
Yeah, right.
In the game, am I able to see that? Absolutely not. Is anybody else able to see that? Absolutely not. You've got to go back on the film and watch it, and you zoom in. And Kagan's hand, the ball never changed direction. Her grazed right over her hand.
Yeah.
And that's just how the ball falls. You know, is it the referee's fault? Absolutely not. Did we capitalize when we needed to capitalize? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's those 5 girls out there that are playing the game.
Right. Exactly.
I can do all my work getting them ready for it, but they have to go out there and execute. Yeah. And that's what they did. They executed.
Yeah, for sure. You could tell that it was deflected before Kaegan.
Yes,
before it got to Kaegan.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I was most surprised with, and
that they didn't stop.
We'll wrap this up real quick, is that, he had a timeout.
And he didn't use it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Which, I totally, I'm in agreement actually with Coach Chad about not calling the timeout after you guys tied the game. There's chaos, and they got down, within 6 feet of the bucket.
Right.
But, hindsight's 20/20 when you have, a player helping up your teammate in the backcourt, on the baseline. And then when you mentioned, I thought Kaegan was throwing it to Lizzie.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what you were talking about exactly because I didn't know where Lizzie was. And then on
Lizzie
the film, it's
Joe
like, she's got a layup, 20 feet away. So it ended up working out.
It did. Yeah. And looking at it from a coach's perspective, I don't know if I would have called a timeout in that, who thinks that a kid's going to make that? Right. But who's going to make that shot right there?
Right.
I mean, it's 3 seconds. She just knew where she was.
Yeah.
And it just happened.
Right.
It's a tie ball game. You save that timeout. Guess what? You get that timeout in overtime.
Yeah.
Now you've got a cushion. And so he's got enough experience. He knows that.
Right.
He knew what he was doing. I mean, did I think it was going in? No. Was I shocked? Yes, and everybody has seen that on social media.
Brandon, he just did the little
is loving it.
Gymnastics celebration back there. Yes, I mean, there's, you
win some, you lose some. It's just how it happens. The ball falls.
Game's the game.
It is.
That is it. It was a great game. And
it was on both sides. They demolished us on the boards. They controlled that game 100%. Actually, let me take that 99.9%, and we were just able to capitalize.
Yeah.
They're going to do well. Do not take that.
For sure.
Moore County will be well off in their district, in their region, and they could potentially make it back to state. So
for sure, that was 2 really good teams. Especially you guys. We got to wrap up, but finding a way without, especially one at the last second. It's like, hey, we, won't be here. Can't be here to play this game. You guys, had seven players. Michaela came in for a few minutes at the start of the 4th quarter, but just all around a great last 4 games.
Yeah.
And 11-3 playing Fayetteville on Friday. That was another tough one earlier in the season.
They're always tough to play.
Yeah, and it will be. It won't be easy on Friday night. So good luck on Friday. Me and Brian will hopefully be there. That's the plan at the moment, right here on the Zinger 100.9. Thank you, Coach, for coming in. As always, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to y'all.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. Talk to Coach Douglas Worsley for the champions on the other side of this break.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture raised and grain finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high-quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
In our community, we believe in supporting one another. And at First Community Bank, we take that seriously. For generations, we've been proud to serve our neighbors with personal service that's as genuine as a handshake. Whether you're opening an account for your new business, saving for your child's education, or just need a safe place for your money, we're here with a commitment to the people of our hometown. First Community Bank, proud to be your hometown bank. Visit us today and see how we can help you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com.
If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton Pipe and Supply has you covered. With everything from skid steers, backhoes, and even mini excavators, you never know what Clanton will have on the lot. For all your pipe and used equipment needs, call 931-684-4847. For heavy equipment, financing is available with approved credit. And of course, you know Clanton for their corrugated metal and plastic culvert pipe. They carry all types and sizes, not to mention that delivery is also available. 931-684-4847, ClantonPipeandSupply.com.
It's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Cascade Coaches Show right here on the Zinger 100.9 and AM 1400. Noah Maddox here, joined on over the phones by Coach Doug Worsley. Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in. We knew it would be, tough to have you in person tonight, obviously, with the game that you guys played 3 hours ago. But we appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
So when we last spoke a couple weeks ago before the Christmas break, we had just come off the game against Murfreesboro Central Magnet, and I do want to touch on that one just for a half second because obviously that was where you coached against your former team for the previous decade plus. I'll let you kind of take it if you want to spend a minute on it. What was that game like for you personally? Any emotions, any type of way for that kind of game? And then, you can also talk about how the team responded and played in that game specifically. Was it any extra special for you personally?
Yeah, that game was kind of different. Several people had asked me, emotionally, where was I with that? And I don't know that I thought about it a lot. Obviously those kids, I spend 3-4 years with most of them, even some of them in middle school, helping bring them along, working with them in the summertime, that kind of stuff. And I just didn't think about it much. I probably I was more worried about, was I overthinking the scout? When you get ready for a team that you used to coach, you kind of know their strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. And so for a bit there, I wondered, hey, am I overthinking it? I know all of them will have improved in different areas. Should I just treat it like any other game, watch the scout film, look at the strengths and weaknesses, or do I just go with my gut? And in the end, I think I did a little bit of both. I knew the majority of them weren't going to change who they were over the summer, and just had to take into account that, hey, some of them have become better ball handlers or better shooters or better rebounders, and just look at the film and see what I see. And that's kind of where I went. And the kids were great. None of the guys, I was kind of surprised. None of the guys really asked me, hey, Coach, what do you think about tonight, that kind of thing. They just wanted to play. And that's kind of the business part of it. We just kind of said, hey, guys, this is just like any other game. I know for some of you guys, you may be thinking it's just not another ordinary game for me, but it is. I'm going to treat it that way. I'm going to be professional about it. And then after the game, it was over. You get to kind of talk to your old players and, get to talk to them and get to meet and greet them a little bit. But for all intents and purposes, we just try to treat it like any other game. And the kids, our guys, to their credit, they just went out and took care of business. We jumped on them early, and, we got up early and stayed there.
Yeah.
So that's the way I expected them to do it.
For sure. After that game, you guys played on that Friday before Christmas, that pre-Christmas weekend up in Loudon. Went 1-2, concluded with a close loss to Austin East. But you guys opened with a very close win over the hosts of that tournament. We can talk about the first game first, and then we can talk about the tournament as a whole. Actually, we'll do that backwards. Talk about the tournament as a whole, then go into the specifics. So for that Loudon Christmas tournament, what were you hoping to get out of it as a team, and as on the coaching side of things with the team, and then how did things go relative to your expectations going in?
The expectation for that tournament was, hey, we're going to be playing in a tournament that, for all intents and purposes, every team there was better than us. Maybe with the exception of Valor. Now, they're a 3A school, and they're out of Nashville. They used to be in my district when I was at Central Magnet, so I kind of knew a little bit about them. They've got a coaching change. But for all intents and purposes, I kind of thought, as I looked at each one of the teams that was there, they're all better than us. And so my goal going in was, all right, we need to see people that we wouldn't ordinarily see. And that's always fun during the Christmas break, because you don't have as much time to scout. And then after your first day, you really don't have much scout at all, other than maybe you got the film the night before and you can kind of break a little bit down. So it's a good way of, hey, let's adjust. How can we adjust on the fly? How can we change our scout just by what we see in the scorebooks and a little bit of film? And then we got to just concentrate on being our best, just do what we do best and focus on getting better there. And that was my whole intent. The other intent is, sometimes depending on how the classifications are, if you make it to the state tournament, some days you might get 3 games in 4 days if you're lucky enough to get to the championship. And then other days you might have to go 3 games in 3 days. Mm. So my goal was, hey, guys, if you were to make the state tournament this particular year, if I've read it correctly, you would have to win 3 games in 3 days to be state champ. So that was a good, hey, here's a lesson in this is what it would take for you to win. High-level competition, 3 games in 3 days, and kind of put a little, maybe a pressure gauge there and find out how we would react.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we did.
How would you grade the reaction, I guess you could say?
Well, first night, I probably didn't do us a lot of justice. I probably didn't give us enough rest time. We jumped on the bus after, the 2-hour day was over. We probably should have left a couple hours earlier so we could rest a little bit. But we got stuck in some traffic. We made it to the hotel. We checked in. We had about 30-minute downtime, and then we had to get over to the gym. And despite all that adversity, I told the kids going in the locker room right before the game, we were getting ready to do our pregame, and I said, guys, I just feel really good about where we are. I said, Loudon, I think, is a better team than us from a player and team standpoint. I think they're a little better than us. They're a bigger school. I said, but I really like where we are. And I said, I just feel really good about how we're going to play. We're going to come together. And it didn't start out that way. We actually got down early, but then we kept chipping away at it. By halftime, their 10, 11-point lead was now 5. And I'm saying, hey, guys, let's get there and let's get down to So maybe, let's get it down to 2 points or 1 point at the end of the third. Well, lo and behold, it was 1 point at the end of the third. And at that point, I'm telling the kids in every timeout and every dead ball situation, hey, we're right where we want to be. And sure enough, we ended up getting down 5 or 6 points late with about 2 minutes to go. We made a couple of really good defensive plays, scores on the other end, and needed a stop. We got the stop. We came down the floor at the end. I didn't want to take a timeout. As a matter of fact, I think I had burned my last one early. So we were basically going on, hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to let it play. And, let's try to take a shot with about 4 or 5 seconds left on the clock. And we did. We wanted to take that 4 or 5 second shot. And that's enough time to crash the offensive glass and maybe get a stick back to win it. And sure enough, we had a nice shot. It came off the glass. Henry Stone was right there. He grabs it, and it was a Henry special, man. He got a nice reverse layup out of it. That was the ball game.
That's awesome. That sounds like a great way to a great way to start, especially coming back after that early deficit. So I guess we can say that's one apiece for you guys, boys and girls, this year. One game winner, one walk-off game winner apiece for y'all this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I was, we got ready to play Moore County after the half-court buzzer beater, and I looked at Coach and I told her, I said, "Hey, Coach, way to set the bar, high tonight. Like, what are we supposed to do to top that?"
Right.
And she just kind of laughed. And kept going, and I was like, guys, but no, it doesn't matter how we play tonight. There's no way we're beating that right there.
Yeah, that was special for everyone in the gym on Saturday, for sure. Put together a classic, and then you guys, we'll go ahead and talk about it, and then maybe bounce back if we need, but we can go ahead and talk about that Moore County game on Saturday. But we're going to take a 2-minute break first. Come back. Talk to Coach Doug Worsley. We are still talking to him on the phones. We'll be back again in 2 minutes right here on the Cascade Coaches Show.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture-raised and grain-finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high-quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
At First Community Bank, we're more than just a place to deposit your paycheck. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your community partners. Whether it's helping you buy your first home, saving for college, or offering a loan to get your dream off the ground, we're here every step of the way. For over 35 years, we've been proud to serve the people of Bedford County. When you bank with us, you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. First Community Bank, your hometown bank. Stop by today. We're just right down the road. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool and triple-stranded pocketed coils to give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662. If you're in the market for heavy equipment, Clanton Pipe & Supply has you covered. With everything from skid steers, backhoes, and even mini excavators, you never know what Clanton will have on the lot. For all your pipe and used equipment needs, call 931-684-4847. For heavy equipment, financing is available with approved credit. And of course, you know Clanton for their corrugated metal and plastic culvert pipe. They carry all types and sizes, not to mention that delivery is also available. 931-684-4847, ClantonPipeandSupply.com.
It's the Cascade Coaches Show on the Zinger 100.9.
Welcome back to the Cascade Coaches Show. Noah Maddox here, joined by Coach Doug Worsley over the phone. Coach, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Still can hear you.
Awesome. Cascade Coaches Show brought to you by Five Oaks Farm of Tennessee, Clanton Pipe & Supply, First Community Bank, and Kincaid Service Company. We're also live on the YouTube channel and the and Facebook Live. So if you want to tune in next time, we have a show and take a peek inside our lovely studio, you can do that and still hear the show. So, Coach, you guys played today. We against Wayne County, a really strong team. You guys played Saturday. Maybe probably wasn't able to top the entertainment standpoint, but a solid win. In the end, you guys pulled away thanks to a strong second quarter, and then kept them at a 30-point arm's length for the majority of the second half. On Saturday, what did you like about the way your team responded and played at times? Coming off of the Christmas break, 2 days removed, playing on a Saturday afternoon, and coming off a tough loss to Austin East to close that Christmas tournament out.
Well, I thought our kids that we played. I thought for the most part we played well at the Loudon Christmas tournament, and then you got to have that break. You come back from Christmas Day, and you never know what you're going to get. Obviously, everybody's still celebrating Christmas, and you got family, and kids are out of their regular routine when it comes to playing a game. It's a Saturday game, not a Friday night game. It's in the Saturday afternoon range. There's a lot of things there that could go wrong or could make you, just not play your best. And I thought the kids did a pretty good job of coming in. We had a pretty generic practice the day before. The day after Christmas, we came in for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Pretty generic, just focused on some skill work and some shooting and maybe shore up a few things we thought we didn't do well earlier. And then, you just got to get ready to play. It threw us a little bit off. We didn't have our JV game. Their JV game was canceled because they got some sickness and some kids out of town. But I thought the kids came in with a pretty good focus. We had the game plan ready. We felt like, if we did what we were supposed to, we should win. And that's what I challenged the kids with. There wasn't a whole lot of rah-rah. And, here's their team, here's what they do. It was really kind of pointed at, hey, are we growing up and maturing as a team? And a mature team takes a step forward, after a tough weekend at Loudon. And then, you got a Christmas Day holiday, and now we got to step back in the gym, and nobody really wants to be here because, we're on Christmas break. But the challenge was, can we be mature? Yeah. And I thought the kids did a good job with that. I thought they came in. I thought they did focus on what we were supposed to be doing, and obviously they won the game convincingly.
Yeah, Cooper McElroy. We've talked about him throughout the year at various points in time, but he pretty consistently. You guys have three guys averaging double figures so far this year: Caleb Kelso, Henry Stone, and Cooper McElroy. Two seniors and one sophomore. With Cooper specifically, like I said, we've talked about him a little bit throughout this young season, but what have you seen from him that has allowed him to have the kind of confidence that comes with, being the number 2 or number 3, option on the offensive end consistently, night in, night out?
Well, Cooper's put the time in the off season. You can tell he's worked on his game. He's worked on his shot. He's shooting the basketball at times this year. He shot it well. He helps us stretch the floor. He's, for us, we don't have a true post player like a big guy, but he helps us. He usually has our bigger guy guarding him, and he's able to stretch the floor because he can step out and shoot the basketball. Those post players who have to guard him have to get out away from the rim, and that opens up space for our guards to attack. Tonight, Cooper was not there tonight because he's sick. He's under the weather. We really missed that because we didn't really have that ability to stretch the floor tonight. And so he's done a really good job with that. He's getting better at the finding the open man when people start to double team him. So it's been real helpful and it's been fun watching the growth of him as a player.
Yeah, for sure. And he's pretty athletic, and he has moments, flashes on defensively as well. Have some really nice, help side blocks and things of that nature. And yeah, we of course hope that he gets better soon with the illness that he's dealing with this week. You guys play. Obviously, you played tonight without him against Wayne County. Well, this afternoon, I should say. You play again tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 against Grundy County at Moore County. Former district opponent for the last 2 years for Cascade, but pretty, they're a little bit of a different team than they played against the last 2 seasons on both sides. Going into this game tomorrow, what are you looking for from your guys, with or without Cooper?
Well, the game time is set for 1. It's not 3:30. It's 1 o'clock.
Okay. 1.
So if people are gonna get there, make sure you're there. We're the first game of the afternoon.
Okay.
Obviously, we know we got to bounce back from a tough loss today. Things didn't go the way we wanted to. We had got down early. We cut it to 12 in the third quarter today at Wayne County, and then they just hit an onslaught of threes, and it kind of buried us. We just got to forget that, and we got to reload, so to speak, and get ready to play Grundy County. We know the style that they play. They're not changing their style. They're pretty consistent. They're going to pressure you. They're going to play fast. They're going to shoot the three ball a lot. They're going to have their big kid rebounding and trying to get easy stick backs. And with Cooper out, that definitely changes how we approach some things. But we just have to be ourselves. We have to play a little better defensively today than we did, or tomorrow than we did today. And, we got to have some guys step up. We had some guys today that, they started to step up, and then when things got tight, I think they kind of reverted to something else instead of trusting what we do. That's the biggest thing, getting some of these younger guys in some situations where, it's the old fake versus freaking out. Have faith in what you do. Don't freak out. Don't change what you do. Keep plugging away at it. So that's kind of where we are right now. We just got to bounce back and play a little better tomorrow.
For sure. And a quick turnaround. That is 1 o'clock tomorrow at Moore County, 1 o'clock tip-off. You mentioned the first game of the day. And then coming up on Friday, back on the air right here on the Zinger 100.9. You guys host Fayetteville City in what, was an interesting game the first time around. I guess you could say, you guys coming into Friday, we'll see TBD on the result for tomorrow against Grundy County. But going into Friday, having already played Fayetteville City once, and it was like I said, a pretty interesting game. Caleb Kelso, 30 points in that game, and Henry Stone, obviously the big talking point after the game with his strong second half. Based on what you remember from the first meeting back on December 5th, what are you expecting come Friday?
Well, it's going to be a war, so to speak. They're obviously they're looking to get a little payback because we beat them at their place, and I'm sure they would like to beat us at our place. And we don't know what our lineup or what our team will look like. Obviously, the sickness and the crud is going around, so we've got some kids who are getting over it, and who knows if we have anybody else go down with it. We're just going to have to, it's going to have to be a next man up mentality, and we're going to have to trust ourselves and the things that we've done so far this year, and just continue to do them a little better. And everybody's going to have to pitch in. It's going to have to be a total team effort to knock off, I think, a very good Fayetteville team, even though they're maybe a little struggling with the win and loss column. They're still playing pretty well.
Yeah, especially watching that game play out. That doesn't look like a team with the record that they have right now. It's sitting at 0-5, but they at least with primary sources, aka Coach T, they don't have many Christmas classics or whatever listed, but they just haven't played that many games either. So, but as you said, in that game, in the first meeting about a month ago, that was a pretty solid. That was some pretty solid competition that you guys had to overcome, because they, had that very strong first quarter, and you guys came back and were able to take care of business.
Yeah, their record is not, what they are. They're very competitive. It's like I said, it's going to take a total team effort. No matter who we have in or out, they're going to be coming in wanting a little payback. So they're motivated for it. We just got to come in, like I said, and do what we do best, and just kind of stick with it.
For sure. Thank you so much, Coach. Last thing, is there anything that you want to make sure that's said heading into this next week and heading into the new year?
No, just want to thank all the parents, all the fans of the Cascade champions, both the girls and the boys. Thank you for all their support so far this season, and as we get ready to go into the second half of the season, we just want to wish everybody a happy new year, and we hope everybody is safe and healthy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. We'll talk to you next time. Good luck on Friday, or good luck tomorrow. Good luck on Friday. Hopefully the health bug bites y'all pretty soon. Thank you again for taking the time on the phone. For Brandon Crossland, on the ones and twos, and for Coach JD and Coach Worsley, I'm Noah Maddox signing off for the final time tonight. We'll talk to you on Friday at 5:45 for Cascade and Fayetteville City.
Looking for farm fresh beef with real Tennessee flavor? At Five Oaks Farm in Shelbyville, their cattle are pasture raised and grain finished for rich, tender taste every time. From their popular burger box to the fully stocked family box, Five Oaks Farm is here to serve you with high quality, locally raised beef. Order your box today at fiveoaksfarmtn.com. Five Oaks Farm, a brand you can trust.
At First Community Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're a true partner in your success. As a local business ourselves, we understand the challenges you face. Whether you're a new startup, a family business, or a growing company, we're here to help offer the tailored financial solutions you need. Looking for a loan, a business checking account that works for you, or expert advice from someone who truly gets it? We're just a call away, ready to support you with personalized service that makes a real difference. At First Community Bank, we believe your success is our success. Join the many local businesses who trust us every day to help them grow. Come see us today or visit firstcommunitybanker.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Serving guitar riffs hotter than your July driveway.
Ooh, hot.
Real classic rock, the Zinger 100.9 and AM 1400. From the Farm Bureau Insurance North Main Office Weather Center, here's Southern Tennessee weather meteorologist Elijah Kirby.
Monday remains cold across southern Middle Tennessee as Arctic air settles in behind last night's cold front. Skies will continue to clear, but temperatures will struggle to climb, topping out near 36 degrees. Northwest winds will remain noticeable, making it feel even cooler at times. Wind chills will stay in the 20s through much of the afternoon, so winter coats are definitely needed if you're spending any time outside. As we head into the evening hours, conditions stay quiet but cold. Skies will be mostly clear, allowing for temperatures to drop quickly after sunset. By late evening and overnight, lows will fall to around 20 degrees, with wind chills dropping near 10 degrees in some locations. Tuesday will stay cold but sunny, with highs near 36 degrees once again. Winter has definitely made a return, so bundle up and stay warm. That's your Monday afternoon and evening weather update. I'm Southern Tennessee weather meteorologist Elijah Kirby.
Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee has protected Tennessee homes for generations with local agents across the state. We're here with home insurance when it matters most, right in your community. If you're new to the area or just new to us, call your local agents Jeff and Kenneth at 931-575-5050 or visit the Bedford North Main Farm Bureau office at 1735 North Main Street, Suite C1 in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Tennessee Insurance for Tennessee life. Just like your favorite vinyl. Warm, timeless, and a little scratched. Oh, come to think of it, my back is a little itchy. If you could just get a little more to the left there. Ah, yeah, that's nice.